You ever have one of those days where you go, oh, well, what the hell? My first clue, oh, good afternoon. Taking a quick lunch break, just got out of a job meeting. But my first clue that today was going to be a little different was when I couldn't go to sleep until 3 a.m. last night, and I couldn't understand why. Normally, when I can't sleep, I spend that time reading or finding books online and just digging. I don't know, but my soul was disturbed. And so this morning I woke to the news that Toni Morrison had passed away. Excuse me. Oh, I got the burps. I don't even know why. Y'all, I knew this day was coming. You all have no idea, and maybe you do, if you have ever had books save your life, connect with you, and touch your soul. I've always loved books my entire life. I mean, I started off with like Little House on the Prairie books and stuff like that. Always very much into the old ways of things. Sula used to be my moniker on AOL's, SULA 222, if that tells you how much Toni Morrison meant to me. I probably wrote half of my graduate school papers on her work. The first time I came into the idea of bones and ancestor veneration and things like that was reading Song of Solomon, 30 years ago. When I wanted to post about this, I was very, very, very much grieving, tearful, upset. Because, I don't know about y'all, but, for me and mine and the people that I love, it has been too much lately. I have to tell you, though, there are people like Toni Morrison who can write about some of the most heartbreaking things. I think I swore off white men my entire life after reading Beloved. Every time I think about having sex with one of them, I think back to the scenes of devastation and violence in that book. And that was what, years before. I mean, I've always been militant. I've always been very Black power. But that book broke me. As an undergraduate, I tried to read Beloved. And that was after reading The Bluest Eye and Sula and Song of Solomon and a lot of her works that were very emotionally hard for me to get through. But when I read Beloved, I literally had to throw the book across the room. I had to put the book down, walk away from it, come back to it. When I took my mother to see it, I didn't realize this. I was in my 20s, late 20s. And when Beloved came out, or early 30s, and I took my mother to see it at the movie theater with my aunt, and I didn't realize that in my adult life I had not taken my mother to the movies. She just liked to stay at home and watch movies. And I remember my mother being so visceral in her anger about having to witness what happened in Beloved. And she said, "You don't understand. It's not that I don't understand what's going on here. We live this. This is my life. Or my mama's life, or my mama's mama's life. I don't need to have it on a 200-foot screen." At the time, I didn't understand my mother's anger, even though I had to fight so hard to get through that book. I do now. I definitely do. At the end of my graduate degree at NIU, I remember when I was a graduate student there, they literally, the English Honor Society, which I was a member of, tried to keep me from being Gwendolyn Brooks' escort when we gave her an honorary degree. And I basically told them to go fuck themselves because I was the only Black graduate student they had. And I was going to let me stay with her all day. So when, I don't even know if I was in graduate school at the time. I might have been an undergrad. But let me go back to Beloved a little bit. That's why I stopped watching those movies, because of my mother's reaction. I still read the books, but I have not seen 12 Years a Slave. Why? Because that's the plantation where my grandfather was born. No, I have not seen Amistad. No, I've not seen The Help. No, I don't. I can't. I cannot. When They See Us, I can't. And there's only so much as an empath that I can digest in a visual sense. I can read, but I can't watch those movies. But people always talk about what a good writer I am, what a good writer my daughters are. You have to understand, it was because of writers like Toni Morrison that I wrote it all. She was the only thing that kept me going through years of dead white men at a university institution. She's the primary reason why I have my master's degree in literature. And she will be one of the primary reasons why I go back for my PhD in African American and African Studies at Ohio State. And yes, I am going as soon as I can get my youngest one into college and the oldest one back into school. But, we have really lost a treasure. I remember when I read, and I knew it was coming. I knew she was old, just like when Maya died. But see, this one, I love Maya Angelou, and she was very good friends with my godmother. But this one hurts. When she got the Pulitzer Prize for the Nobel Prize, rather, in literature, I was the one who was asked to read a portion of one of her books. No other student on campus had been asked to read at the ceremony that we had at the Center for Black Studies. And I can't read that to you right now. I couldn't get through it then. I can't get through it now. But it was the scene from Sula where she set her son on fire. Where Eva set her son on fire, her heroin-addicted son. The one who she literally pulled the shit out of his ass to save his life with the last piece of lard they had in the house. I'm telling you, if you have not read the works of Toni Morrison, we will be reading Song of Solomon in my book club next month. We had already discussed that we were going to do it. I already discussed with them how I would feel when she passed. I am a conjurer. I am a voodoo sant. I understand death. I understand being old and living a full life and passing away. I understand all of that, and I'm good with that. But you will never get those words again. You will never find another writer like her. She was an editor at Random House for 20 years. Everything African passed her desk, and she is responsible for Toni McKay, Barbara, and so many other authors getting their books published in the 80s and in the 90s. But when I read for her tribute, when she won the Nobel Prize, I read from Sula. And I couldn't get through it then, and I'll never get through it because I wasn't even a mother then. But as a mother, knowing when your child is addicted to drugs, mentally ill, damaged, she set him on fire. It's been a hell of a 2 weeks, y'all. And then this morning, I'm sitting on a call with my my day job, because I do have a day job, and I just pretty much sit here all day until the evening when people actually come into the store because everybody's working. But we're open. The girls decided to get up and go to the zoo. So I'm listening to the meeting, and I look outside, and it looks like it is foggy in the middle of the day. And my spirit said, don't go out there because we don't know what they're spraying in the damn air. And I'm like, they wouldn't even do that to us in the middle of the day, would they? And I looked, and I finally said, stop being a little bitch, open the door, go find out what the fuck's going on. And I looked down the way, and there's a fire. Now, let me tell you about Spirit. Now, there's 2 daycare centers here, and we were considering sending Hidea to one for a couple of hours a day because she gets really bored here. And Sanaya is about to start school. And I'd seen the bus for one of these daycare centers. One of them looks really, really nice and really taken care of. The other daycare center, which ain't as nice, their bus looks a little, yeah. I thought it was our favorite Mexican restaurant on fire. I'm watching people pull babies out in strollers, and no, they had them in the baby cribs. They rolled the cribs out of the daycare center. People were running across the parking lot. The ladies from the African salon, everybody is running out of the parking lot. And it turns out that it was one of the buses for the daycare that was sitting in the back that caught on fire. But I'm telling y'all, you got to trust your spirit. Because when I woke up this morning, I knew there was some fuck shit amiss. What I didn't know was I had lost one of the biggest inspirations in my life. You know, between her and Prince, I don't idolize celebrities. But when I tell you that Toni Morrison fueled my pen more than anybody else in this world, she did. And when I saw that daycare truck, the first time I saw the daycare bus, I was like, I got this really bad negative feeling. My soul was like, that's some shit I would never put my children on. So now I got to go be nosy and find out which one of the daycare buses caught on fire. But thank God they got everybody out. None of the kids were in the daycare bus. They were all in there. Yeah. You know, like I said, there's no other reason why I read other than Toni Morrison. It was Toni Morrison, Maya Angelou, Gloria Naylor, and they're all gone. They're all gone. And it makes you think about your own mortality. And I'm 50. And I was just thinking, y'all got to pay attention to what goes on psychically, what spirit tries to feed you. Because I'm sitting in my bed last night and I can't sleep till 8 o'clock. And I'm writing a tribute to my first magical mentor. I want you to go on my page and read about Ellen Spires. Ellen Spires owns the Voodoo Store, and they were the first person to teach me about stuff I'd gone my whole life with no answers to. Although I can honestly admit, reading Toni Morrison, Gloria Naylor, and Octavia Butler, and Toni Morrison, Maya Angelou, Octavia Butler, Gloria Naylor, all of them, when you read them from a conjurer's perspective, it's going to rock your fucking world. It's going to change your life. And, Ellen helped me put those pieces together, and he has made the most amazing tarot deck. So I'm writing about this tarot deck and what my relationship to him has been. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I need to write. Now, there's a very, very famous person in witchcraft publishing and an author, very prolific themselves, who has asked me several times to write a book because she can see from my posts that I love to write. I'm still trying to find a way to write about our magic in a way that is a real honor to the tradition. I don't know if that will ever happen. I figure that my next writing will come from my dissertation, and it will probably be something about African traditional religions in the diaspora when I get my PhD. Because all I want to do is sit down, read, and do fuck shit with my friends. Y'all saw the post last night. I just want to read, create, and do magic. I have a job, and I got to get back to it, y'all. I love my job. For over 20 years, I've been an online course designer, and I work for one of the best institutions in the world that's dedicated to the mental health and the education of everyone. And I worked for really special schools. And even if I could, I don't know if I could ever walk away from that job. As much as it's stressful having the store and having this job, but I've got my kids. They went to the zoo this morning. I called them and let them know about the fire down the way, and they're like, why are you still in the building? I'm like, because my shit ain't on fire. I ain't got to leave. They did ask us to evacuate at first. But this is a fuck day, y'all. And a lot of recurring themes of fire going on in my life, which only as a witch makes me want to dig down deeper and finding out how I can manipulate that element to make positive change in my life and my life of others. And I love you guys so much too. I have so much to be grateful for, but I am seriously gonna miss Toni Morrison. And I didn't know her personally. That was one. I've got to meet Angela Davis. I've got to meet Gwendolyn Brooks. She even used to read my short stories. I've got to meet Hakari Mabuti. I got to meet, well, Donnell Leave, y'all, Hakeem Mabuti. I've got to meet Milana Karanga. Wasn't thrilled about that. Do my activism in college over 30 years ago, I got to meet a lot of amazing, I can't remember his name right now, but he was the first black man who won a Nobel Prize in poetry. I met him when I was teaching at LG Community College. God, why I can't remember his name. He's Caribbean. Yeah, I've met some really fucking amazing people in my life, and I don't have a lot of regrets. But the only regret I ever had was never getting the chance to meet her. And just to sit at her feet and listen to her wisdom. Do not miss people in your life that can do that for you. I posted about my mentors last night, how I miss just sitting and watching them create. Don't let people, places, and things get in the way of your life. Do what you know you should be doing. I have an uncle that every time he sees me, he's the one who turned me on to the Prophet. And I'm not going to butcher that man's name because I never can pronounce it. But if you have not read The Prophet, you need to. And he always asks me, when have you written your book? Think about the way this world would have been if we never had Toni Morrison. If we never had Octavia Butler. If we never had Maya Angelou. My life would have been empty. And Gloria Naylor. So I realized that one of the things that will help me read more is to do a book club. So you guys, if you want to join my customer group, you don't have to buy anything. The book club is free. You could join our book club. We're reading Mojo Working. I had to cancel last night's meeting because of work obligations, and I've got to get back to work now. But my sister knows me well. My sister texted me this morning. She's like, Toni Morrison is God. She went to the movies with me and my mom to see Beloved. So yeah, y'all. I don't even know why I'm crying, other than the fact that I know she's here. I can put her on my intellectual ancestors altar, which is, I'm going to finish that. I have an intellectual ancestors altar where I put people who have passed on, who have made a difference in my life. Even David Bowie, the Beatles are on that altar. Maya's on that altar. Josephine Baker is on that altar. Jimi Hendrix has a huge picture on my intellectual ancestor altar today. I get to put her up there too. You all, don't wait. Don't wait to make your dreams come true. If there's one thing that I hope that I can do for anybody here that is part of my inner circle, people who actually pay attention to what I say, don't wait. I didn't wait for this store. Everything in my life has taken a beating from opening this store. But I didn't wait. I waited until the spirits told me it was okay to do it. When it was time to initiate, I didn't wait. I've had more responsibilities now on me than I have ever had in my life, but I didn't wait. So if I could teach you something today, and last year, this time, or maybe it was the year before, I did this hashtag campaign called Fuck Can't. Because most of the time we tell ourselves that we can't do something, and that is the only reason why we don't accomplish things. Toni Morrison was born in Lorain, Ohio. That was another thing that really, I could feel her. I could feel what she was writing about. Because I grew up in Ohio. I know I'm back. Lorain, Ohio was hard for black folks then, and it ain't no better now. And if Toni Morrison could come out of Lorain, Ohio, and win the fucking Nobel Prize, we all can make our dreams come true. Don't let nobody stop you. Willa, you from Lorain? Well, next time you come home, you come see me. I'll see you guys later. I'm sorry. I wasn't going to do this. I tried to get myself together, but it's like losing my mama all over again. Except she was my literary mother. So it's hard. It's real hard. I don't care how old she is, and I don't care that she's an ancestor, and I don't care that I'll be able to call on her and walk with me, because I'm closer to my mama now in death than she was in life. But these words are gone. We're not going to get those words again. You better love them. You better teach them words to your children, and you better live them. Goodbye, y'all.